Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. We would like for you to give us a 5-star review. Just write down, "Oh, I love BJ and Bill, the podcast." Do whatever you'd like, even if you want to give us a 1-star. We won't like you again, but you can do it if that's what you believe. You can do that on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your favorite podcast. And welcome to episode number 79.
I don't think we should be recommending people give a 1-star review.
I don't recommend it. No, I just want them to do what they feel is right.
Oh, I don't want them to do what they feel is right. I want them to do the 5-star one, no matter how they feel about it.
I guess you're right.
Whatever. That's okay. We love you no matter what. We thank you and we love you and we appreciate you listening to the show. So yes. So how are you?
Pretty good. I didn't get my heart cath last week like I was expected to.
Really?
They changed it on me. They need to have a different doctor do it because it's a new type of catheter, a heart cath.
Wow.
They want to, I told you before, and I've had this over the years, actually, donor-specific antibodies, which is trying to close off the blood flow to the heart to say, hey,
Right.
we're going to kill you, you little son of a bitch.
You don't like this new heart.
But what they're doing, actually, they're going to do a catheter, a heart cath. They'll actually look at the walls better and determine, I don't know what it does, but it determines how much damage the thing is doing.
Wow.
And, if there's, anything they can do to help cure it along.
But there's only, one guy in the world that can do this? Or
no, I guess
one guy at Tampa General anyway.
Maybe there's only one guy at Tampa General. All I know is they said it had to be someone from FSU.
From FSU? Well, maybe
USF. I'm sorry.
Oh,
University.
USF. Maybe that's
University.
where they invented it or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but so one of the doctors are going to do that here in about a month.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know if it'll hurt more, hurt less. I don't know.
Hopefully less.
They said it's something kind of like, kind of like what I'm so good at remembering things, like dolphins. It's sonar rays or something. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's impressive. I don't know what that means, but that sounds good.
They say they're going to experiment on me. And I was like, what the hell? Just go for it. You've kept me alive 21 extra years. You do whatever you want to do.
Right. Well, they called up the new doctor and they said, would you like the opportunity to work on BJ Odom? And he went, oh my God, BJ Odom, I'll be right over. Yeah.
He's been in the medical books for like 50 years now.
My name gets my little doctor name gets associated with one of the people in the heart transplant world. I'll be right there. Yeah, absolutely. So you're probably a celebrity in that kind of business.
I might be. I don't know. Maybe they're clamming. I know nurses fight over me when I go to the hospital.
No, you take him. No,
it's the opposite. Well, I'm one of those patients. I'm one of those patients that tries to laugh my way through even the worst of situations.
Yes.
I'm not the guy that goes, hey, don't get him. Come in here again. If you come in here again, I'll slap you silly. Get out of my room.
Right. No, you're a good, we know that. We know that you're a good person and that you spread good cheer wherever you go, like Santa Claus.
Well, I don't know. Some doctors don't like that I joke around because they like to be serious, but I know the nurses enjoy it.
Right. And they're the important ones anyway, because they spend the most time with you anyway. So
because the doctor comes in, 3 or 4 minutes?
Maybe.
And the nurses, you see her, because they work 12-hour shifts, which I can't believe.
Crazy.
But they come in and they, so you see them a lot. And, the new day, a new nurse may come in and they actually wrestle over me if I'm in the hospital because, they want to put up with me for 12 hours instead of the guy down their hall that's like bitching and moaning about everything in the world.
I don't know. There was a brief moment of a reality TV show of nurses wrestling there, and I kind of enjoyed it. I thought, wow, that could be something there. Put that on right after The Masked Singer. That's great. So anyway, good for you. So this will all happen in another couple, 3 weeks or so. Yes.
Yeah, something like that. I can forget what the exact date is, but yeah.
You and our old friend Ms. Vicky had your surgery scheduled the day after one. You were like last Wednesday, and she was like last Tuesday, or I don't know, something like that. So she had her shoulder rebuilt. I don't know if you've seen her pictures on Facebook or whatever, but she's wearing the sling and kind of, I was texting her a little bit over the weekend, and she's like, yeah, I'm fine. It's just damn hard texting with only my left hand. And I'm like, well, I've been doing it for 25 years. It's not that hard. She's like, yeah, you're left-handed. I'm like, oh, yeah, there's that. So
yeah, you red
so
bastard.
yeah, I know. So she's in recovery mode too. So boy, the whole world is recovering, I guess.
Well,
here.
I'm not in recovering mood because I haven't
not
done
yet.
it yet.
That's right. You got to go in and have something done to recover from. So
Yeah.
although
Can't
you're
recover
kind of
from that.
constantly in a state of recovery.
That's true. Hey, you're the Apple guy, right?
Yes, I am.
Don't put your wet iPhone in rice. For years, you've heard that, your phone gets wet, you should put it in a bag of rice. That might work with some phones, but not the iPhone. Apple has released an official paper stating that putting wet devices in a bag of rice could allow small particles of rice to damage your iPhone.
Right.
Although it doesn't go into further details, the company also recommends against using other well-known hacks, such as using extreme heat sources to dry out your phone.
Yeah, that's not good.
And sticking a cotton swab into the connector.
That's not good either. Now, I will tell you that when I worked for Apple, we actually told people to do that. Well, I'm not going to say we came right out and said it, but if somebody suggested it, we would go, yeah, you could do that. Sure. So, we didn't tell them not to do the rice trick thing. And I heard that story this week, and I'm like, really? Because that's, kind of always been the go-to thing. But yeah, the other stuff, yeah, you can't. I mean, you might, I don't even want to suggest it. I was going to say you might want to use a blow dryer on it or something, but as long as it's not set, don't set it for hot, just set it to in a normal blowing temperature. So, but yeah, of course, nowadays the phones are a lot more I'm not going to say waterproof, but they are a lot more water resistant than they used to be. So,
Now,
I mean, in the old days, it was like, you get a little water on it and it was dead. Nowadays, you can actually splash it and, you can actually dunk it, I think, in the pool for a few seconds, and it will, don't go out and do that, folks. Don't say, oh, Bill, the Apple guy said, go put your pool, phone in the pool, but don't do that. But I think it will be not as bad. Let's put it that way.
here's a true story from probably 4 years ago. So my wife is looking for her iPhone. Of course, we'd been out that day too. And so, we must have left it somewhere.
Right.
So she'd take, because almost anybody with an iPhone knows about this app. You can find your phone.
Sure.
So she's looking, can't find her phone, but I can look at my phone to see where her phone is, in case she's like,
So you can spy on each other. I get it. I get it. Yes.
We have the, the stalker app. I call it the stalker app.
Yes, it is. Find my iPhone. Yes.
And so I'm looking at her phone. I go, it's here. It's here in the house. And, she's pushing the little button where it's going to go ding, 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 ding.
Right.
Ding, ding, ding. And we're listening. We go out in the car. Ding, 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 ding. We can't find it.
Okay.
Nowhere it can't be found.
Mm-hmm.
So about 2 days later, we're so baffled. It's saying it's here, but it can't be here.
Right.
So my wife takes the mop bucket, who had been mopping a couple of days ago,
Right.
dumps out the mop bucket water.
Oh.
And how it slid off the counter into the mop bucket,
Oh.
nobody knows. But guess what?
The phone was in the murky mop bucket water.
Oh, yes, it was.
Now, several questions come to mind. First, did it still work?
No, it did not work.
No. Okay.
But it did tell us that the phone was at the house.
Well, the way here's your little Apple insider thing. The way it works is it will tell you if the phone is on and can communicate, it will say, I'm here. I'm here in the bedroom or whatever. And if the phone, but if the phone dies, it will tell you the last place it was able to communicate before it passed on into the next life. So yeah, so it died in the bucket. And so begging the second question, who keeps the mop bucket water full of muddy water when you're done with it?
I guess my wife.
Inquiring minds want to know. So, all right, well, whatever.
It was like a day or, it might have been the next day.
I understand, but when I'm done mopping, not that I do it a lot, but if I ever mop, I dump it out immediately.
Yeah,
and rinse the bucket.
Yeah, so does my wife normally. I don't know what was going on.
Okay.
But all I know was at the end of the counter. So I'm thinking somehow it slid off the counter.
And you don't even have a cat. So the cat couldn't have done his usual cat thing and bumped it off the counter and bopped it off into the bucket. Because a cat would have done that. A cat, just to be mean, a cat would have done that. Yeah.
And the dog's not big enough to get on the counter.
Yeah, no, dogs they don't knock things around like the way cats do. So I don't know what the cats are just ornery that way. I wonder why they do that. That's a curious thing. But anyway, there you go. So yes, there's your iPhone story. There's your iPhone story.
But
so by the way, thank you for the little plug there, because iPhone Friday videos, which have been out of circulation for more than a year, are about to come back to a YouTube channel near you. So in fact, after you and I are done today, I will be filming several brand new iPhone Friday videos, and I will mention them on the Facebook page for people to go and enjoy and learn about their iPhone.
And I suggested you did it. You're doing a new little marketing campaign for some apps on your telephone.
Yes.
And so I said, why don't you put that on the BJ and Bill, the podcast page?
Thank you. I'll go. I'm going to do that again. I'll do it like once a week or so. Put a little bit. Yes. There's a little. I do a little bit of online marketing, just kind of for fun and profit in my spare time, kind of a thing, because I'm bored. And one of the things I'm doing is with this company that brings together all of these apps that save you money. And like Rakuten, that's a popular one. I mean, heck, your man Steph Curry does a Rakuten commercial. So Rakuten, Upside, saves you money on gas, and Fetch, which saves you money on all kinds of things. You take pictures of your receipts and stuff. And there's a free online free online company that puts all that together, plus a lot more. So I'll check out the Facebook page. Thank you for the mention. Thank you for that. Check out the BJ and Bill podcast Facebook page for more info.
Well, football is over.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the race yesterday was very, very boring.
I didn't even watch. I was out most of the day yesterday. What was the race yesterday?
It was Las Vegas. It was in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So that was kind of neat, but it was just a boring race. For that track, it usually has more action, but I must say the boys were quite well behaved, and there wasn't a whole lot of mayhem. I like a race with. I'm sorry, I am one of those people that enjoy a race with a little mayhem every now and again.
I get that. I mean, that's why you go to a hockey game, right? Wait for the fight to break out. Sure.
I don't want anyone to be injured, but it's kind of nice to see them, up and grind a little more than they did.
Okay. All right. And yesterday in the NBA, both of our teams
we don't speak about the NBA yesterday, because I am one of the biggest Warriors fans that probably, on this side of the Mississippi.
East of the Mississippi, yes. And they got their butt handed to them by the best team in the NBA, the Boston Celtics.
I do like what the coach said.
I didn't hear.
The coach said they played an extremely good game today. We didn't play our best. Let's move on.
Right. So yes,
they got beat by over 50 points.
BJ's Warriors got beat by Boston by more than 50 points. My Cleveland Cavaliers were in it right to the end, but lost to the New York Knicks last night, which was kind of in Cleveland, which was a tough loss because the Knicks are kind of up and coming, and Cleveland's in second place in the East behind Boston. But I get the Cavaliers 2 more times this week. So I get the Cavaliers Wednesday and Friday night. They play your Warriors. So we'll have a good game then. So there you go.
Or is
Yeah.
that going to be what? Wednesday nights on TN? Is that TNT or?
They're all, it's all on the major networks. They're all going to be
Okay.
on for sure. I don't remember who and where, but yeah, I know Wednesday night. And then I think do they play Milwaukee? I think who is also right there with Cavs. So anyway, important games, big games. Although
Yeah.
I don't really care about the Warriors playing a Western team, but that's all good stuff. Yeah, all good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Speaking of sports, though, well, actually, there's a couple of sports stories.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark she beat Pistol Pete Maravich,
Oh, really? All-time scoring points in
all-time
college
scoring
basketball.
points in college basketball.
Good for her. Good for her.
And I'll tell you, and I watched that game. That was a good game. It was a good game all the way through with Ohio State. Sorry,
Right.
but Iowa beat Ohio State.
Ohio. I mean, I hear you. I'm from Ohio and all that, but don't worry about it.
But yeah, it was a good game. I watched the game, and I'll tell you, that girl has brought more people into women's basketball fold than any. Because I mean, I have turned
Yep.
on women's basketball.
I have too.
I have never watched an entire game of women's basketball until Caitlin Clark.
And there
I
you go.
watched probably at least 5 whole games,
Right.
5 whole games of watching Iowa play different teams this year.
And that's kind of the way, that's the way it always works, right? Because, a team is a team. It's like, okay, I'm rooting for a uniform. Great. But you're a Warriors fan because of Steph Curry, and, the names, the people is what makes it. So, yeah, if she can, I'm not going to say she can, she already has. She's put, women's basketball on the map. I would absolutely go and watch her play if they ever played the Gators here in town or something like that. That would be, I'm sure it'd be a sold out house, of course. So yeah, I think the ladies sports stuff, yeah, it's coming around. It is.
And I remember women's basketball, you'd watch it and maybe, like Mackey Arena, Purdue University.
Right.
The gym would be maybe half full. Mackey Arena, that's a big, a lot of these college arenas are big arenas.
Oh yeah.
It might be half full. Might be.
Yeah.
This year, Iowa played Purdue. Mackey Arena was full, a sellout crowd.
Full house. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And they were there for one reason.
Yep.
I'll tell you, I think probably when she goes to the WNBA next year, I will probably watch a few of the games just to see how she does as she, steps up to the next level of basketball.
It'll be interesting to see if she brings some of that crowd, some of that interest with her. That's for sure, because the WNBA has been kind of like meh sort of a thing. But again, if you start bringing some stars in, some names that people recognize, we're like here in Gainesville, we are pretty darn excited because Shaq's daughter has signed the letter of intent to become a Lady Gator next year. So we're looking forward to a little Shaq sightings here in Gainesville.
Oh, there will definitely be. Oh
yeah. Oh yeah.
One more note in sports. This news, we record this on a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Monday mornings around 10 a.m. This just came out just before the podcast. So it will be old news by Wednesday when we, arrive to the podcast platforms.
Right.
But Mike Evans has signed. All I know is for another year, he will be a Buccaneer.
And BJ Odom wearing his Buccaneers. Hey, little boy, where's your I'll tell that joke later. BJ Odom wearing his Tampa Bay Bucks baseball hat. Good for you. Yes, Mike Evans. I thought I saw that on Twitter or X or whatever, that it's like, yeah, we want to make sure he stays here for life kind of a thing. So good for him.
So he
awesome.
was re-signed. Still Baker Mayfield, still undetermined.
He signs.
I think it is too, but
absolutely.
We'll see. But I'll be honest. I was more excited about hearing Mike Evans will return. And if Baker comes back,
it'll be good.
It'll be wait and see it. Because I am not completely sold on Baker Mayfield.
No one has ever been completely sold on Baker Mayfield. And when he arrived in Cleveland, of course, he was the football messiah. He was oh my God, this is going to be the, Heisman Trophy winner, big time star, blah, blah, blah. And then it was kind of like, yeah, here we go again. Because Cleveland has a history of like, that sort of a thing, bringing in some big, huge name. And then, I mean, I'm looking at you, Deshaun Watson. And then, it's like, oh God, here we go again. So yes, Baker has kind of made the journey from team to team in the NFL, had a splash, had a thing, and then kind of fizzled. This year in Tampa, okay, nice work. Nice work.
But he kind of fizzled. He closed. He's a, I guess, which is good. He seems to be better at the end of the season than he is in the beginning of the season.
Always a good thing, yes.
Because
he needed time to get into the Buccaneers system too.
Because I didn't think they were going to be that good. And then they got me all excited at the beginning of the season because I think they won, the first 2 or 3 games.
Right.
And they looked really good. And then all of a sudden, oh, my God, the Buccaneers have returned to being the Buccaneers pre-Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And then, towards the end of the year, the end of the season, they got hot again.
Quarterbacks and coaches in the NFL are rare, good ones, very rare. And when you get one, it's like you hold on tight and you make sure the guy gets what he wants. And, you ride it for all it's worth, because they always say that. I mean, I'm a huge, huge fan. I still listen to this day of Colin Cowherd, the sports talk guy on Fox. He was on ESPN for years. And he would always say, sure, you can fire your coach, so-and-so, because you don't like him in wherever city. Who you going to replace him with? Who else is out there? And the answer is almost nobody. So, it's like, good luck with that. Good luck. So anyway, all right, there's sports. Look at that. We're covering sports today. Good job.
So that is all the sports news. It is the news that was the news for today. I'm Jim Shorts.
I'm Bill Stevens. Thanks for joining us. More in a minute. Yeah, no, that's so awesome. Very good. So cool.
Here's something I just discovered. I know you like to lose weight.
I would love to lose weight. It doesn't love to lose me.
A study found that when a person loses weight, his body increases its appetite, which makes the person eat more. I
believe that. I do. I think that's a natural thing. I'm no expert, but I've been on the diet roller coaster. Lose weight, gain weight, lose weight. I probably lost 1,000 pounds in 50 years, and gained it all right back. So yes, I think that's a natural thing, that when your body loses weight, your body goes, hey, wait, we're starving. Hey, we're starving down here. Send more food. I think that's what it is. And it's for me personally, yes, it's a roller coaster. You lose a few pounds, and then, you think, oh, I'm doing great. I can cheat tonight. I can, like last night, I had a little Chinese takeout, kind of a thing. Well, that cost me a pound. I get on a scale every day. I do. I get on a scale every day. Last night, my little, sesame chicken with rice cost me a pound, 1 full pound. Was it a pound of food? Probably not, but my body doesn't care. It's like, oh, look, food, stuff it somewhere.
Well, I don't know that much about them, but I'll tell you what seems to be the new hot thing. Well, 2 things seem to be hot right now.
Which is?
The shot. What is that?
Ozempic?
Yeah. But I guess that can cause havoc on your stomach.
Yeah, I don't want to get in. Well, I don't know. I don't know that much about it either, although I do know it was never meant as a weight loss drug. Although when they started mentioning it on TV, hey, this helps this. And by the way, you might lose a few pounds. And so, of course, then now what do they call that? Off-label usage of something.
Yeah.
That's like, it was meant for this, but it actually also does this. So now they can't make Ozempic fast enough to get it out there to people.
And even the people that need it for diabetes now is having a hard time getting it.
Right.
But I will say this. I know a lady who did it.
Oh, yeah?
Looks really good now.
Did she have any negative side effects? Because I've heard that it causes, like you said, it causes trouble in your stomach, and it causes, I don't want to do that. I won't do that.
I don't know her that. I know her.
Okay.
But I'm not around her all the time.
Okay.
She's from Fort Myers.
Okay.
Friend of my wife's.
Okay.
And I've seen her a couple times since she's done it, and both times it looks like, whoa, amazing.
Really lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. Looks really really good.
Does it make you not hungry, or do you just lose weight, or do you know anything about it? I mean, you know anything about her experience?
I don't
No.
know that much about her experience. All I know
Okay.
is that I was told that that's what she did.
And it worked.
And I'm like, as a guy in this world,
Right.
Baba Booey.
Wow. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. I hear you. Well,
I
good.
also
I
hear
mean,
that I
if it
also hear the
works, good.
gummies work too. Those gummies that, as seen on Shark Tank, are
Gummies?
supposedly the new up and coming thing. That's how supposedly Kelly Clarkson lost all her weight.
Gummies? Weight
Mhm.
loss gummies?
Yep.
Now I'm interested because I love gummies.
I don't know if they're any good. I don't know that much about them.
Okay.
I don't know if it's true, but I've actually seen her on video, her face. I used the Shark Tank gummies to lose all this weight. And
You know who else?
She looks really good right now too.
What's her name? Melissa McCarthy has been like on a weight loss thing too. And I saw some pictures of her and I went, not yet. Because she it's noticeable that she is thinner, smaller, losing weight, whatever. But it's like she was big girl, but cute girl. And now it's like, okay, we're kind of in the transition period now.
Well, if you remember her from Mike and Molly, have you seen Mike lately?
No.
Oh my God.
Mike.
What is his real name? He's actually from Orlando. Well, he lived in Orlando. He got started in comedy.
I can look it up, but I don't know.
In Orlando.
Okay.
And yeah, him and his brother even owned a place in one of the malls for a while. It was like some kind of little restaurant or something.
All right, you're going to make me look it up now, aren't you? I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, look it up, please, because I'd love to know his name.
Mike and Molly?
Yeah, Mike and Molly. He was the star of Mike and Molly with her.
Right. Mike and Molly. All right, there were Billy Gardell.
Yeah, Billy Gardell.
Oh yeah, now that I see his picture, absolutely, big boy. You bet.
Does it show a now picture?
No, it does
Find
not.
a now picture.
So all right, so let's do.
He's on another
Google.
television show now called I can't remember what the name of it is, but he is like, you wouldn't even recognize him if you didn't know who he was.
Really interesting. Oh yeah, Billy Gardell. Yeah. I went to Google and it immediately came up. Billy Gardell weight loss. So yeah,
you can't even. Yeah, you wouldn't even recognize him.
Oh, you are right. There's a before and after picture. 150-pound weight loss.
But I think he did the stomach thing too, maybe.
Wow.
Or whatever. I don't know.
150-pound weight loss. Wow.
And you got to think, though, I mean, yeah, it's healthy that you get down that much, but is it healthy dropping that much? Especially I think he did it within, a year.
Yeah, it depends.
Year and a half.
Again, it depends. I wouldn't do it. I would not do it with any drugs or anything like that. That Ozempic thing, I'm not interested. Now, I'm a big fan, as you know, I'm a big fan of the keto/carnivore diet, where it's mostly proteins and stuff like that. And I know your nutritionist would probably faint if she heard about that sort of a thing for BJ Odom, but I see a lot of people on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, who have had great success. And when you do it that way, it has a lot of other benefits in terms of, blood pressure and blood chemistry and all that stuff, that it really, really makes a big difference. So I keep telling myself I want to do it. And then Friday night comes around and there's another pizza in front of me. So I don't know. But during the week, I'm really good.
Now, let me ask you this. Have you, obviously you have, or I don't know. I know you're not, because you are like me. I am unhealthy and I see a doctor often.
Yes.
You're healthy. You don't see a doctor that often.
Never.
Because I would love to know what your blood sugar has been or what it is. I would love to, I'd love for you to follow that.
I would too. And I think if I get serious about this whole carnivore diet thing, yes, there's a couple of good real doctors, not YouTube fakes, real doctors on YouTube who recommend the blood test panel that you should get so you can follow what you're doing. Yeah, blood sugar, A1, what do they call that? A1C or whatever that is. All of that stuff. I don't even know what that stuff is. I don't I mean, I know what it is. I don't know. I have no idea what my numbers are, and I would like to know that. I really would.
Because no offense, because before you lost some weight,
Yeah.
I would almost guess, and this is just a guess because I've never tested your blood, that I would think you would be at your weight you were
Yeah.
pre-diabetic.
I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you're right. Yeah. I mean, and depending on how you do the numbers, see, because I don't even know, like you said, at this point, I don't know what mine are, so I couldn't tell you where I'm at on that spectrum. But you're right, and so if I can find a good, and you can walk into like one of those Quest diagnostics or
Oh
something,
yeah, you
and
can
just
get
get whatever
A1C
blood
pretty
tests you
simple,
want.
yeah, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I
You know
wonder
what else? You know what else I would recommend to you
I'm listening.
if you want something that's somewhat cheap
Mm-hmm.
and it would be good for you to follow is
Mm-hmm.
you can get those diabetic blood testing machines at your local CVS, Walgreens, whatever. And
Right.
they have like a cheaper model that you can get for like probably, less than $20.
Are you talking a blood glucose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would, even to check your glucose. I mean, the
Right.
A1C is the most important number.
Right.
Following your glucose would also help you to see, kind of where you are. That would kind of say right away, you should wake up some morning before you've eaten anything
Right.
and check that and see what it is fresh out of bed.
They make a really cool, I mean, it's a little patch thing. You just put it like on the back of your arm or something, and then
Yeah, but you got to
to
be a diabetic for that, because I've tried to get that myself.
really.
They classify me, and they say it's a lot because of my anti-rejection drugs.
Right.
I am pre-diabetic. My A1C runs around 6.0, which it should be about 5.8.
Oh, okay. So you're on the high side of things, but you're not like off the charts kind of bad.
Right. But
Right.
I do take a pill that helps keep my sugar intact. So it might even be higher if I wasn't taking that pill. Probably would be.
And again, so now you have me curious. And if anybody knows anything about it, feel free to post it on the Facebook page and I'll take a look at it. But so now you have me curious about, can I walk into like a Quest and get a specific test for that A1C thing?
Yeah,
I'm sure you can. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can.
Wonder if my Medicare covers that.
It
Probably.
would, yes. But
Oh,
you might have to get a doctor's script for it, but it definitely
I see.
would. For it to be, but you could probably even do a teledoc and say, I'm really interested. I'd like to get a blood panel.
And because of course here we are in Gainesville with the University of Florida hospitals and system and all, and it's huge. I mean, they run the place. I actually went and I've told this story before, that when I moved here, the first summer I was in Gainesville, I was sick as a dog for a month, and I actually went to just the county clinic kind of a thing because I wanted to get the COVID test, the thing test. And I wanted whatever, and see what's going on just in case that was it. And I didn't have a doctor. So I went there and they said, oh, we can be your doctor. We can, we have a lot of temporary people coming and going, and we can do that for you. So I am on record with that office, but again, yeah, I might have to check into the whole blood test thing just to see what's going on. Because like I said, one of the doctors on YouTube that I do follow he's got his recommended, list of tests, and then you can do it every, I don't know, whatever, 90 days, 6 months to see how you're doing with your diet.
Well, I usually do my blood work every 6 months.
Well, come on, you're a professional patient.
That's right. I think I do my blood work now, and I think about every 3 months, but I do like the A1C like every 6 months.
Okay. All right. Well, good. All right, cool. All right. Now you're giving me something to look into. All right. What we're going to do is look into refilling whatever beverages you happen to have, coffee, tea, or whatever. Go do that. Take a quick break, and we will be right back. Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens, along with BJ Odom, slurping on his Buc-ee's coffee mug. I have my big red one with no logo on it as well. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast. Please feel free to join us over on Facebook. Just do a search for the same thing, the same name, BJ and Bill Podcast on Facebook. And feel free wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, whatever. Leave us that 5-star review and tell us how you love the show.
Yay!
Yeah, we love that. We love that.
Hey, you know,
I sent you that meme this week, didn't I? I sent you that picture from Facebook or X or whatever that said, Buc-ee's officials confirm there will be a Buc-ee's in heaven. It's like, okay, good. Now I can go. Okay, good. Yeah.
I love Buc-ee's. I need to go over to the other coast, because they have one not only in Daytona, but
St. Augustine.
St. Augustine.
Yep.
Need to go there, get me a barbecue.
Yeah.
I like their brisket.
If all you had was the brisket, you do that. But, you put it on the bun with some sauce. Now we're back to talking about, blood glucose and A1C again. So, but it's worth it.
As we were just talking about, blood and things like that and your health. Listen to this. A study advises against exercising. Wait, there's more.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're angry, because your chance increases of having a heart attack.
Stress. It's stress on stress. Yes. I mean, when you said the first part of that, I made a real face like, oh, here we go. More crazy science. But no, I actually believe that if you do it when you're angry, because your heart's already pumping hard and doing the stress thing and all that. And then you add exercise on top of that. Yeah, that's probably good advice. I mean, it's not probably good advice. It sounds like really good advice to me. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm going to have to quit arguing with a wife and then taking a walk.
Well, a walk. I don't think a walk.
That's exercise to me, buddy.
That's
Oh no!
You're killing me. You're killing me.
I've killed Bill.
I know. I killed Bill. I saw that movie. Yes. I think that is very good advice. Don't exercise. Don't angry. Just don't get angry. Just do your best.
That's the best.
Yeah, do your best to not get angry. That's
so. In other words, I'm thinking you should not, if you're doing a brisk walk in the morning, you should not be listening to a political podcast. I'm just saying.
I think that's good advice, unless you're using it for purely entertainment purposes. Unless you're listening to something that's like, oh, that's so funny. But yeah, I get it. I do. I heard, and I hope he does it. I mean, when Elon talks, I listen. Elon says he's coming, there have been a lot of AI has been in the news every day. AI is everywhere nowadays. Elon says he's coming up with an AI service, whatever, that will digest these political bills when they, in the House and the Senate, when they come up with these 5,000-page law bills that have so many, that will digest that 5,000 and tell you exactly what it's going to do and who it's going to benefit and who gets screwed, just like that, without having to wade through the 5,000 pages. And I think that is the most brilliant thing ever, because that makes my blood boil when I hear about how we're getting screwed by our government. So,
well, I've always been the firm believer and very, probably nothing would ever get done. I believe in the one bill rule.
Yes. No, in other words, you can make this one bill that we're going to build this bridge in this city and it's going to cost this much and nothing else. We're not adding we're not adding in subsidies for pork producers on the other side of the country because some senator wanted it. Yeah, no, totally. I love that.
I think that's the way
it'll never happen. It'll never happen.
Oh, no, it won't. But I mean, that's the way it should happen. And anybody with a brain would probably admit to the same thing.
Right. Yeah, of course they would. But you look at what you've done. Look at how you've limited the audience there. Anybody with a brain. That's just our listeners to this podcast. That's not anybody who actually works in Washington. I'm sure there's some people in, mid-level office jobs in Washington that are working their butt off and doing a great job for the people of this country. The ones that actually have the big titles, and not so much.
They're just there for the big paydays.
They're in it for themselves. So
they're what you call liars, and liars take longer to tell their stories. Research shows that it takes an average of 30% longer to tell a lie than to be honest.
Now, for that to work, I'd have to see you tell an honest story, and then I could say, "Oh, BJ's taking a long time explaining this. He must be lying." I get it. I do, because you're kind of making it up as you go along. You know, was that Mark Twain that said that? Always tell the truth. You don't have to remember anything as much that way, or something. I don't know. Somebody said something. Maybe it was Abe Lincoln. I don't know. Makes good sense though. When you lie, you're gonna spin your wheels.
Lie, lie, lie. Pants are on fire. Wouldn't that be cool if every time you lied, your pants?
It really did happen. And
Yeah.
again, here we go. In Washington, D.C., the Men's Warehouse would be making money hand over fist.
Oh, you're buying more underwear? Well, my pants got on fire quite a few times this week.
That's awesome. I love that. Can we enforce that rule? I love that.
Yeah, that would be great. I still think, whenever these guys are in, I think they all, when they're having their little talks and their little things, I think they all should be hooked up to a lie detector test with a big loud buzzer that goes on behind them when they lie.
Like an NHL horn kind of loud, kind of, yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? Mr. Speaker, I would like to speak right now. Okay, hook him up. Well, no, don't hook me up. No, we're hooking you up.
You want to talk?
Before you talk to Mr. Speaker, you need to be hooked to Mr. Lie Detector.
The problem is I don't know if it's a problem or not. They're so good at lying, they might actually just get away with it. I want to know, like Elon says, God bless you, Elon Musk, wherever you are. I know you're a troublemaker. I love that. I appreciate that. If you can tell me, okay, this bill provides blah, 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 for preschool kids in Detroit or whatever, and it also provides $1 billion to go to the war. It's like, oh, really? Again? So, yeah, okay, fine. Don't get me started. We're already started. How often do we say, don't get us started on something, and we're hip deep in it already? How does that happen for BJ and Bill? Know. I don't either.
But at least I think we are on to one thing, and I will agree with that. A one item bill.
One item bill. I think that's a great idea. And I don't care if you have to stay up into the wee hours of the morning. We're paying you to do this. We're paying you way too much to do this. Go ahead and do it.
I don't think you should make any money being in, because they make so much on the side.
Well, flip that around. Flip that around. When you are sworn in as a senator, I want to see your financials. I want to see your bank account. I want to see your stock market account. I want to see it all. I want to see what you are worth. Your salary for the next 4 years is whatever. I don't know, $200,000 a year. I don't know, whatever we pay you. It's too much. But your salary is $200,000 a year. In 4 years, you are allowed to have an increase in your bank account of $800,000. But these people, like what's her name, like Cortez in New York, AOC, as somebody said, a failed bartender who earns $100,000 a year as a representative. Her net worth has increased $27 million in her 3 or 4 years in Congress. What?
Here's what's wrong. We all need to be in Congress.
Well, or something or they don't.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
So anyway, yet another rant. Here we go.
Well, this will really get you going then.
Try me.
Listen to this bill. You want a one
I just better not exercise after this. That's all I'm saying.
You want a one bill? A one thing bill?
Yes.
Can you imagine this in Oklahoma? Here's a bill that's so extreme that you could they make sexting outside of marriage a crime. You could go to jail.
For sexting.
Yes. Sending
sexy text messages.
Yeah.
How are they going to patrol that? Oh, don't tell me. I don't want to know, because it's probably bad. I know. Everything's going to be again. Well, whatever. It's just, I'm going to say it again. I am so happy that I am the age that I am, because the world's going to hell quickly. And I don't want to be a young person to have to pick up the pieces. I feel so bad for these young kids out there that are like, what the hell, Grandpa? What kind of world are you leaving us? Yeah, we completely screwed you over. Sorry, not sorry. And it's like, okay, whatever. So yeah,
maybe we should get back to health. We
I
were
like the health.
angry.
Yeah, because politics, you get me blood boiling, and now I'm going to go exercise and have a heart attack. So yeah, the health stuff is good.
I'm going to help you with your health right now. A new study.
Thank you.
Found,
I'm open to that. Wait a minute.
Now-
Let's just
now-
take a moment to breathe here, shall we? Okay. All right. We're back. We're fine.
a study by the of course they are the California Walnut Commission.
Of course, there's a walnut commission in California.
They found that eating walnuts daily will lower your cholesterol without increasing weight.
So
What does that mean? You're only eating, what?
walnuts.
Are we only eating walnuts? What?
So wait a minute. So you're telling me that the California Walnut Commission, whose job it is to promote the eating of walnuts, is telling you that they are good for you. What a surprise, BJ Odom. What a surprise.
But now really, except for the nuts in Washington, I've heard all nuts are good for you. Pretty much.
And I've heard that too. And like everything else, it's, with those famous 2 words at the end, in moderation, so I get it. Good for you. But again, I'm always skeptical. I mean, I don't want to go back to, we were doing the health thing. So, but it's involved with politics. I watch these TV commercials for like, if you have this condition, if you have this diagnosis, if you have this, whatever, talk to your doctor about this particular drug. And then, oh, by the way, who sponsored that commercial? Yeah, the company that makes the drug.
Well, who else is going to sponsor it? Who else is going to pay for it?
Good question. But are we, I don't know. This is why I don't go to doctors.
I know there has been those talks that maybe, we shouldn't be advertising, different drugs to fix different things. Because if you ever notice at the end of all those commercials,
oh my God,
may cause the squirts, may cause.
Oh my God. It's like the warnings are as long as the commercial, and somewhere in there is always death.
You may feel suicidal.
May kill you.
Yeah, it may feel suicidal.
Right. You may kill yourself.
I don't know. It's
the world. Was it George Carlin? George Carlin, who said like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, George Carlin said that politicians should be like NASCAR drivers. They should have patches on them that show who the sponsors are. So we know, it's like, who paid for this guy? Okay. There's his patch. We can tell. Yeah. I
know a lot of the drugs that I take to stay alive, unfortunately, have side effects.
Fortunately, we want BJ to stay alive. That's fine. Don't say unfortunately.
But most of them have side effects that can kill me.
Yes, they do.
So
which is why it's so important that you have good medical care, and you have good people watching out for you, and nurses fighting to, take care of you. Little callback there. So yeah, that's good. But everything comes with a trade-off. Everything in life comes with a trade-off. You can take this drug and it will help keep you alive, but if you do it wrong, it will kill you. So I don't have a better answer than that. What's that?
Even if you do it right, sometimes it'll kill you.
That's correct. So I don't have an answer for that.
Like my transplants,
other than good medical care, which you're getting. Thankfully, you're getting. So
like my transplants, I have to take drugs to keep my immune system low.
Right.
With a lower immune system, I have so many more chances to catch more diseases, more cancers, all these things. Because I take a pill to keep my immune system low.
Yes.
But if I didn't take those pills, I'd be dead too. So
I was going to say, that's just the trade-off you make to, be with us in this world. And we appreciate that.
Let's try to find something. Let's try to find something happy. Does Bill Stevens play Worlde?
Yes, let's find. We got 10 minutes left to go here. Let's find something happy to talk about. What do you want to talk about?
Does Bill Stevens play Worlde?
No, I don't. Should I?
I'm thinking you with a brain that's much better than mine. You should be playing Worlde.
Isn't it like a crossword puzzle? I don't even know what it is.
I don't know what
a crossword puzzle.
The word itself got me like, I'm not going to play this. Worlde. You think I want to play Worlde? I can't even think of half the words I want to say here on this podcast. And now they want me to play a game called Worlde? You can take your little game, stick it up your you-know-whaty. Another word for behind.
Right. I've heard people talking about it or have mentioned it. I think another callback. I think our old friend Miss Vicky has suggested it to me or whatever. And when I'm sitting in front of the TV at night and it's boring, I will actually pick up my iPad and play like Tetris or something totally mindless, totally
I love
brainless.
That band.
Tetris?
Yeah.
That wasn't a band.
It wasn't? I thought they were a rock band. I don't know.
I don't think so. You're trying to do a play on words and I am not catching it. So that's bad.
No wonder neither one of us are playing Worlde.
That's it. We don't have the words for it. So all right. So I will investigate Wordle between now and the next program and report back to you on whether or not it is any fun.
You know what? It's just a fun word
I'll
to
try.
say.
Wordle. It is a fun word. It's a fun word to say. Wordle. Start incorporating Wordle into your vocabulary for no purpose at all. It's like, I'm going to go to the store and get 25 pounds of Wordle. What? I hear they're having a special at Sam's Club on Wordle today. Okay.
I waddle when I wordle.
You waddle when you wordle. Wow,
Yeah.
You might. Yeah.
I think you do.
I waffle when I wordle. I'm not sure about it. I waffle.
Now. Oh yeah, waffle. That would be high in carbs, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, waffles are all carb. Well, it depends how you make them, but yeah, they're pretty much all carbs.
And then what do you do with a waffle? You put syrup on it.
You put syrup on it. Yeah. And if you're really feeling decadent, you put like some sliced bananas and strawberries and stuff like that on top of it too. Yeah.
Followed by whipped cream.
Oh yeah. Whoa. Now we're talking.
Now we're wordling it, baby.
No, I thought I was being a bad boy with my sesame chicken last night, but I was out late driving around and running some errands, and it's like, I don't want to go home and make food. I'm just gonna, my little Chinese place there's a little cheese takeout literally across the street from where I'm over by my Publix, and it's like, I'm on this, baby. all right, I already know the answer to this, so I'm not going to say do you. I'm going to say what menus do you keep in your car with you for driving around takeout use?
You'd have to talk to the wife.
Oh, okay. You don't know. Yeah.
I'd just soon go. I'm more,
you're not a takeout. That's right. That's true. The Odoms are not takeout people. The Odoms are restaurant people. That's true.
Yeah. But as I get older, which is really weird because I'm not a cook and I can't make fancy food, but I would just soon stay home and eat like, simple. All my stuff, if I eat at home, is going to be simple.
Right.
But I would soon sit at home and have simple anymore than go out to eat.
Really? Because you were a big eater-outer when I knew you back in the day.
Oh, we still are. But I mean, as I've gotten older, I used to love to tour, like when I was doing comedy. Used to love, going out, doing things, going places. I am the happiest at my home with just me and the wife and the dog.
I get it. I do.
And I never was that way before.
Yes. I mean, I am, you can't see it. I'm agreeing with everything you say, there's something about just being home and taking it easy and chilling out. And it's like, I got what I need here. People are like, oh, you live in a 1-bedroom apartment. Yes, it has absolutely everything I need and want. Absolutely everything. And because I'm not a big stuff person. So I'm comfortable. I got my big screen TV. I got my popcorn popper. I'm good to go. I am. And I think, like you said, I think as you get older that, I don't know, maybe there's some people still like to be out in the world exploring and all that. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'd like to travel some, but not like crazy amounts, not crazy. So, yeah.
Well, if I was me, I've always had little vehicles.
Yes.
If I was like a person who liked to drive big vehicles.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind getting like an RV and just taking off for a month or two.
That's still on my bucket list. That's very much on my bucket list. I don't know about the RV thing. I think, but a nice big SUV and throw a ton of stuff in the back. I don't know, maybe a tent, maybe not. I don't know. But hotels are nice too.
Well,
and and just
I've
travel
seen
around. Yeah.
prices. I've seen prices of RVs, and I've even because I have friends and relatives that are big into RVs.
Right.
And nowadays, you go to a campground, you might pay 70 or 80 bucks for your camping spot.
Really?
Yes. Well, they give you electric, of course.
Yeah, I realize
Some of them
that.
have, TV cable and things like that.
Right.
But I'm
That's
thinking
crazy.
anymore, by the time you pay, and if you're going to get a nice RV, one you drive, like a
Right.
really, you're
Right.
going to pay minimum. And that's a used one, probably $60,000, $50,000, $60,000.
I was thinking 100, but so
And
yeah.
well, yeah, that's probably the average.
Right. Right.
But if you really wanted to, like cut corners, you might be able to find a used one for 60,
Right.
a small one.
Right.
But you know how much by the time you buy, your campsite and everything else, hotels aren't that bad. You're not paying a $500 monthly fee to stay at a hotel.
Right. Right. I always thought that math is the same with a boat. You can buy a boat, but for 325 days a year out of the 365, that thing is sitting in your driveway or sitting in your garage, and you are paying for it whether you are using it or not. Or
Yes.
I go down to the marina,
You rent a boat.
Fort Myers Beach, and I rent one for the day. And yes, it's going to be crazy expensive. You might 500, 600. I mean, you've done that with your son, I know, and I've got other friends that have done the same. Yeah, it might be $1,000 for a day with gas and food and rent and all that. But okay, but I did it once. And if I want to do it again in 3 or 4 months, I can do it again. And I'm not paying to store it. I'm not paying insurance. I'm not, all of that. So yeah, I that's a good idea to me.
See, I'm trying to, but I'll never get it done.
What's that?
I'm even thinking too, like, I know what our house is worth.
Right.
I know how many years the wife and I probably have left on this earth.
Right.
I said, well, almost at our age, I think, everybody says you need to own, build that equity.
Oh,
I'm thinking anymore, by the time you pay your income tax, by the time you pay,
right.
all your bills, and you're just as well off to rent.
Hello. Especially nowadays. And real estate is something, I've been keeping an eye on lately. The lady friend over there in St. Augustine, she's looking to buy a house and all that. And we've been following the real estate market very closely. And it's still insane out there because there's, you can't sell a house now. You can't sell your house without a significant downgrade. Because if you had a house where you're paying a 2, 3, 4% mortgage and now it's 6, 7, 8%, you're getting a lot less house for more money.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just, so the rental thing, people tell me that too. Bill, you're still renting? Why are you renting? Don't you want to own something? No, I do not want to own anything. Thank you.
Yeah, because anymore, your
Property taxes.
property taxes are becoming, astronomical anymore.
Astronomical. Listen to BJ.
That's a Wordle. I
That
get
is
that
a
on
Wordle.
I got that. I can get. I mean, I play Wordle. And I can get that.
I am looking up Worlde before the end of the week. I am absolutely looking it up. It's on the phone, right? You play it on your phone or your iPad or whatever.
Yeah, and then I noticed a lot of people post like their little Wordle squares, which I don't know what that means. They're like yellow and green squares, and my Wordle score. Well, I don't see no number. I just see squares and boxes.
Right. But it looks like a crossword puzzle, doesn't it?
Well, the green and I don't know. I
See,
never.
well, here's two guys talking about something they know nothing about. So between now and the next show, yours truly will look up Wordle and perhaps give it a spin. I'm not making any promises, but I'll try.
Maybe we should get a hold of Vicky and have her come on just quickly and explain Wordle to us.
I think that's a great idea.
Then we could decide if we're going to like it or not.
Because she's sitting around with her arm in a sling, not doing anything anyway.
Yeah, so she needs to Wordle us.
Wordle us. It's a deal. I will call her up. She will be on the show next week, and she will give us the lowdown on Wordle.
I want you to call her. I want you to say, will you Wordle with me? I want you to say it while her husband's listening too.
Yes. I think that's a great idea. I think that will fly like the Hindenburg. I think that will be awesome. Yes.
Do you think we could Wordle together?
Right. Ooh. I'll be on my couch. You'll be on yours, 1,000 miles apart, but who cares?
Well, that's not fun Wordling if you
No,
ask
that's
me.
not fun Wordling. No. I just wanted to give myself a break there so I don't get in trouble with anybody.
That's not the way I would want to Wordle.
I understand.
I know how I would like to Wordle, and that's not how I would like to Wordle.
All right, before we get ourselves into too much Wordling trouble here, yes, we will talk about Wordle in depth. Now we will have a special BJ and Bill investigative report next week on Wordle. Okay. In the meantime, people are listening to this going, what a bunch of idiots. They've been playing this for years out there. So, all right, good.
I can imagine people are shouting now at their devices that they're listening to this podcast.
Yes.
You stupid idiots. Don't you know anything when it's now? This is how you play it.
And if you are one of those people shouting into your earbuds right now, we apologize.
Don't take a walk right now. Don't.
No exercise for you. Let your heart calm down. We want everybody here safe and sound again next week. Right? Right.
Yep.
All right, BJ Odom. That's, speaking of which, that's a good wrap. That's a good place to wrap right there. So, folks, no exercise while you're angry. Please just be calm, be mellow. Have a good week out there. I know it's, it'll be good. It'll be fine. You'll be good. We'll see you again next week. So, last minute thoughts. You're all good.
Just grab somebody special and Wordle.
You do that.
I'm excited to Wordle now. I've gotten myself excited about Wordle.
But no sexting.
Oh, yeah.
In where? What state?
Oklahoma.
If you're in Oklahoma, Wordle responsibly.
Yeah. You can only Wordle with your wife.
Oh, significant.
No
other.
Wordling anywhere else.
All right. Here comes the lawnmowers outside. Perfect timing. That's going to do it for us this week, folks. Have a great week. We'll see you with Wordle news next week. But until then, it's just up to BJ Odom to say,
see ya.